Suddenly Salad by Henry Boreham. The green box of Suddenly Salad stares me in the eyes. Betty Crocker's signature red spoon watches over a beautifully plated pasta salad, which has very little resemblance to the actual product. "Betty Crocker," the spoon says from its place on the front of the box. "I'm Betty Crocker. Who are you?" "Jessica," my mother calls from the other room. "Do you need help with the salad? We are about ready to start eating in here. I am waiting. I am waiting. I am waiting." I hurry into the adjacent room. Many people are seated at the table, but Mom is standing over everybody, needlessly refilling glasses and wantonly complaining on the behalf of others. The salad bowl in the middle of the table is empty, so I open the box of Suddenly Self-Conscious and empty its contents, a big pile of gray ashes, into the glass salad bowl. "Betty Crocker," the box says. "I'm Betty Crocker. Who are you?" "Oh, Jessica," my mother says. "You can't do anything right." My dad grunts. My three brothers echo him in unison. My mother grabs the salad tongs and begins to toss the gray ashes, which transform into a salad. "I am waiting," she says. "I am waiting. I am waiting." "God, woman," my dad says to both of us. "Sit down so we can eat." "God, woman," my brothers echo in unison. "Sit down so we can eat." I sit at my place, still holding on to the box of Suddenly Spiteful. My mother still stands and fusses. "My family cooks better than this," my boyfriend assures me. The box of Suddenly Slighted crawls its way onto my plate. "Betty Crocker," the box says. "Let's say grace," my mom interjects. "I'm Betty Crocker. Who are you?" My dad rolls his eyes. "I am waiting," my mother repeats as my three brothers roll 6 eyes. My dad starts mumbling a prayer. "I am waiting. I am waiting." My dad finishes the prayer, and everyone begins eating. My boyfriend leans into my ear and whispers, "My family doesn't believe in something as stupid as religion." I pick up my utensils and begin cutting the box of Suddenly Sacrilege. My dad picks up a steak with his hands and chomps into it before letting out a loud burp. My three brothers imitate him exactly, down to the pitch and tone of the burps. "Have some manners," my mom says to my brothers. "Don't talk to my sons that way," my dad shouts. He stands and with full force smacks my mom across the face. A crack forms in her cheek. "I am waiting," she says evenly. My eldest brother stands up and smacks her in the exact same spot. The crack spreads. "I am waiting." My middle brother stands up and smacks her. The crack viciously cuts down, bisecting her chin vertically. "I am waiting." My youngest brother stands and smacks her. The crack spreads down her neck and under her dress. Her gray and Titian blonde updo comes spiraling to the floor, raining a storm of hairpins. "Betty Crocker," the box of Suddenly Sinning says. "I'm Betty Crocker. Who are you?" My dad and three brothers sit down and continue eating. My mother begins to wrap her long hair around her neck and begins retreating. "My family isn't barbaric like this," my boyfriend says. My mother takes 3 shaky steps backwards toward the stairs. "I am waiting." She's standing at the very top of the stairs. She pulls the hair around her neck tight. "I am waiting." She leans back and tumbles down the stairs, tightening the hair as hard as she can. She flips head over heels and heels over head. "I am She is cut off by a messy crunch. The second syllable rings in my mind. "My mother doesn't kill herself," my boyfriend remarks haughtily. "Betty Crocker," the box of Suddenly Stunned says. "I'm Betty Crocker. Who are you?" "You should marry that guy," my dad says. "You need to lock him down before he leaves you. You can't do better." "You should marry that guy," my brothers say, as I stare down at my box of Suddenly Spiteful. "You need to lock him down before he leaves you." "I'm better than this," my boyfriend says. "What was Mother waiting for?" I ask. Dad throws his glass against the wall, and it sails right through, leaving a hole the size of a person in the wall separating us from our neighbors. "Don't reopen old wounds!" he shouts. He stands and leaves. My brothers aren't sure what to do. Our neighbor pokes his head in the hole. My brothers look at him. "Howdy," he says. "Howdy," my brothers echo. Our neighbor steps in the hole and hands them pills. "Have fun with these," he suggests, pantomiming swallowing pills. He leaves through the hole. My eldest brother pops the pill in his mouth and swallows. After a moment, he slumps forward, dead. I look down at the table, at my dead brother, and at the box of Suddenly Sickened, which pipes up, "Betty Crocker." "I'm Betty Crocker. Who are you?" "We should probably be careful with these," my middle brother says, before taking the pill. He slumps forward, dead. "My family doesn't overdose on drugs," my boyfriend says. "I don't want to take it," my youngest brother says as he slowly raises it to his mouth. "I don't want to overdose like my brothers." "Betty Crocker," he pops it in his mouth. "I don't want to die." "I'm Betty Crocker." My youngest brother swallows the pill and dies. "Who are you?" "I'm better than this," my boyfriend says. "None of my family is dead." He stands up. "I'm better than you." He walks out, leaving me alone with a box of Suddenly Silenced. "Betty Crocker," it says. "I'm Betty Crocker. Who are you?"